Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamerspro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. This O.J. Simpson news it has some people kind of weighing in on various sides. Yesterday, we published a show. So numerous shows on Stephen A. Smith weighing in on ESPN. Then you had Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson weighing in, and then you had Doug Gottlieb, who initially weighed in on the story. Now, the show that we produced around Shannon Sharpe, I said that I was surprised with the tone that Shannon took with his response, because I remember Shannon not being fond of OJ because of the way he seemed to shun the black community. I remember when he was on Undisputed, when we got the news that OJ was going to be getting out of prison, and Shannon Sharpe said he felt no way at all. He seemed to be absolutely, he had no emotional association to that story. So to hear Shannon Sharpe kind of react to people who were, saying things about him in his passing, I was very, very surprised by that. And one of those people was Doug Gottlieb of FS1. He came out and he took a very, very strong position against the passing of O.J. Simpson. And he basically said he got what he deserved and all of that. So then what happened was Shannon and Chad Johnson reacted to some of the commentary that people were saying that took the same kind of road that Doug Gottlieb took. And then Doug Gottlieb then went on his show yesterday on Fox Sports Radio, where he then responded to the commentary of Shannon Sharpe, where he essentially doubled down. But to give this show some context, we want to quickly play what Shannon originally said on his show on Nightcap with Chad Johnson to give this show some context, and then we'll come back. Take a listen to what Chad Johnson and Shannon Sharpe had to say yesterday.
But Caitlyn Jenner tweeted very tacky, very distasteful.
Yes.
Basically what it said was good riddance. No matter what you think of someone, Ocho, you don't celebrate someone's death.
You never do that. You never do that. It's one thing about God. God don't play. You don't celebrate nobody's death. Even if you despise that person based on personal issues y'all might have gone through. Now you have to remember. Now, OJ, murder, the case, he was acquitted, but obviously was tried in the civil case. Now, also, again, God don't like ugly. If I'm not mistaken, brother Caitlyn Jenner also had an issue. 2015, fatal car accident, killed somebody.
What? Hold on. No, you didn't.
Yeah,
no, she didn't. Now, everything in the OJ. People allegedly he killed Nicole Brown Simpson,
yes, sir,
and Ronald Goldman.
Yes, sir.
He went on trial. 12 men and women. A jury of his peers says we don't believe he did it.
Yes, sir.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
They acquitted him. He went to trial on the civil charges. He was convicted. So you mean to tell me there's no denying that at the hands of Caitlyn Jenner, someone lost their life?
Yes,
so
sir.
how would she feel? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't recall her spending not one day in jail.
Yes, sir.
But you say good riddance. You happy for the death. God don't like, my grandma used to always say when I was a little boy, Ocho, God don't like ugly. No. Sometimes he don't like pretty.
Yeah.
And you better be careful.
You got to be careful, because you never know your time is up. Every time we born, we all come with an expiration date. Now, we don't know what that day is, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to speed it up, because the tongue is powerful. If you're going to celebrate somebody else, listen, if you're going to celebrate somebody else's death, now you got to be careful. And God can show you better than he can tell you.
Yes.
So you heard their commentary. So what happened? This morning I jumped on YouTube and I saw Doug Gottlieb, a show on I saw it on on YouTube, where he was essentially responding to Shannon Sharpe, and the title goes, Doug Gottlieb reacts to Shannon Sharpe's comments on O.J. Simpson. So that's what we want to play, because that's at the heart of this show. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Doug Gottlieb had to say in response to Shannon Sharpe, and then we'll come back and give you guys our thoughts. Take a listen to this here.
So this was Shannon Sharpe. Who was he reacting to? He's reacting to, we don't have, okay. So did you hear what Shannon Sharpe said? He's like, listen, people who never wish ill upon the dead. Right? Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson both saying, never wish ill upon the dead when O.J. Simpson died. Since when? You're not allowed to wish ill upon the dead when he's responsible for the deaths of two people, including his ex-wife? Really? No. I'm not the bad guy for not mourning the loss of the bad guy. Sorry. Right? And this is not like Sports Guy. This is not, Barry Bonds who took steroids. That's the only way he could pass Henry Aaron's record. This is not even Alex Rodriguez, like the shadiest, worst dude ever. Like, no. This is a completely different level. We talk about sports and business. Like, the murderers, I think, you got a special place in hell there, right? But it's more than just being responsible for, and I believe, though found innocent in a criminal court of law, I believe he did it. There's the interview. You guys have all seen the interview, right? Where he went through the imaginary scenario, if in this scenario, and then all of a sudden you can see him walking you through that night, and he's got this nefarious Charlie figure.
Yes, I did see that.
Dude's a sociopath. Like, what are we all doing? You don't have to. When Charlie Manson died, did you have to go like, hey, listen, all due respect to passing of the Charlie Manson? You murder somebody or responsible for, or no, the softest I could ever go is, well, at least he knows who did it. And for all of this time, for the 30 years since the passing of his ex-wife, he couldn't give her family peace. And so now he dies. We're supposed to go like, hey, he died. Like, never speak ill upon the dead. No! He's a horrible human being. He's got a first-class ticket to hell. Why am I supposed to feel bad, or why am I supposed to not speak poorly of the dead? You're a God-fearing Christian man. Dan, am I wrong here? Am I the bad guy for saying that?
No, I don't think that you're the bad guy. I think that there are a lot of people that share your opinion on this. I do not share the opinion of Shannon Sharpe. I also think that Shannon Sharpe, because he attacked Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, that's what it was. It was about Caitlyn Jenner.
Yes, that's where it ended up, because she made a comment on Twitter, and so I think that's where X, wherever it was. That's where I think that it was angled. But I do not think. I don't have the angst that you have, but I am in lockstep with you.
So you heard what Doug had to say. I want to be honest with you guys. As I was listening to him talk on the issue, I was turned off. I'm being sincere with you. I was really turned off. Doug sounds like a person with very little character while he was making those comments. I'm just being honest. He sounded like somebody that I could never speak to, associate myself with. We can have a conversation in which we disagree, but those are some really low character comments. I actually had to do some quick research to understand what is his religious background. And Doug Gottlieb, according to what I saw online, I could be 100% wrong, seems to be a Jewish person. So he seems to be a religious person to some extent. Oh, I could be wrong. Maybe he doesn't practice any religion. I know Vlad says he's Jewish, but then he doesn't believe in religion. So I could be totally wrong. But I disagree with him on a biblical level, 100%. I am a Christian, and in the Bible, there are examples of when God, deals with people that may, have caused you harm or be your adversaries. And God clearly says that if you relish and take pleasure in me reprimanding these people, I'll remove my wrath on those people and bring it upon you. So from a biblical standpoint, I don't understand what Doug Gottlieb's talking about. I don't resonate, don't really care to understand what he was saying. Then he went on to say I should be happy for the bad guy. Bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? First of all, you're speaking as if you're someone that litigated the case and you lost and you're angry about it. He said that he did it. Well, according to the justice system, they said no. Now, if whether or not people believe it or not, that's one thing. But what you believe is not reality. What's reality is what took place in the courtroom and what the judge said. That's the reality. That's the reality, right? For you to be harboring this amount of anger towards OJ, to be like, well, I'm happy that he passed, and like, that's a little bit too much, you know, and he's going to go a nice place in hell. Doug, please stop. You're not a judge, jury, and executioner. You're a human being like the next. You have your flaws as well. I'm sure you've done something to piss somebody off somewhere. And how would you feel if that person all of a sudden starts sending you to hell? I don't understand what he was really trying to say with his commentary. He just seemed like someone that was very, very happy to see. He's talking about he's the bad guy. Fine. If he's the bad guy, if he's the bad guy, he would have been dealt with, right? He went to court. They found him not guilty. Then he did something else. Then he went to prison. And then he passed because he had cancer. But it's not up to you to judge him and you to say what he deserves. You're just a person. That is all. Yeah, you may feel like, okay, I'm an authority figure. You're not in the real grand scheme of things. You're just a human being like the rest of us. And you don't get to pass judgment on people. You don't. And that's the part I'm not understanding. That's the part that's really turning me off. Who are you to be casting judgment on people? You're just a person. At the end of the day, you will be judged as well, whether you believe it or not. So a person that's going to stand against to be judged cannot sit around and then cast judgment. It's I don't know what Doug was talking about. Those are some very low character comments, and he's going to say, maybe he's going to take it from the position, well, why are you defending? No one is defending anything. I'm not happy nor sad about OJ's news. I'm totally indifferent to it. You, on the other hand, seem to be taking some type of pleasure out of the guy's passing, and you're then upset at people that don't share the same sentiment as you. Like, well, why are you defending him? It's like, well, why are you relishing in this situation so much? Why is it turning you on so much? Like, I don't understand that. What's wrong with you? Like, why do you? I don't understand that. Why are you so happy about it? Fine. If you feel the way that you feel, no one has stopped you from feeling the way that you feel. No one. All Shannon said was he didn't like the fact that some people were relishing a little bit too much, and you're getting upset. Well, he's the bad guy. No, you just feel the way you feel, and those are your views. And as a Christian, I think you're 100% wrong, and I'm standing on that. You know, I'm standing on that. So to me, Doug Gottlieb, those are some really low character comments. I expected a little bit better from you, but we're talking about he's the bad guy and he's dead and he's going to get what he deserves. Bro, you're going way too far. Way too far. You're speaking like some type of sanctimonious person. Trust me, we all sin, including yourself. So stop with the sending people to hell and all of that stuff. It's not up to you. That's not your decision. That's God's decision, not yours. This is a topic that was referred to me from the channel Uncommon Sense. I saw the channel. I've been seeing the shows from the channel, but I saw this particular story. I think someone sent it to me. Yes, it was our editor. What am I saying? Someone. Our editor, Mitch, who works with us, he sent me the clip. I believe it was yesterday. And I got around to listening to it today. Right? So, what's this clip about? What's the show about? Well, it's about a former teammate of LeBron and J.R. Smith, who was essentially talking about the dark side of being a teammate of LeBron James. Essentially, like the curse. It's like a curse. Why was he saying that? Because, as many of you know, the running joke about LeBron, and even Chris Broussard, who's a LeBron guy, who has him number 2 all time, has said the narrative around LeBron is whenever he doesn't win, it's always someone else's fault. It's either the coach, it's either the team. I don't have enough help. Some people have been very critical of LeBron's new show with himself and JJ Redick, where they're saying that LeBron is basically up there to try to rewrite history and basically explain away all of his losses. Everyone is a new excuse. Why this didn't go that way? Why this didn't go the other way? And then even Stephen A. Smith got upset with him for trying to make excuses for losing in 2011. So people have been on his case about this, right? Because people don't want to hear that story because it's another excuse. So to hear a person like J.R. Smith, who played with LeBron, who is friendly with LeBron, for him to come out and essentially say, like, bro, listen, the entire time is like, what are you doing to help LeBron win? And if you do something wrong, it's your fault. He's like, well, he missed his free throws too. He didn't play well too. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what J.R. Smith had to say in terms of his experience being LeBron's teammate, and then want to come back and react to his commentary. Take a listen to what J.R. Smith had to say here.
No, man, it's like, honestly, it's a gift and a curse with playing with Bron. Like, I love Bron to death, and I love playing on this team because for me, I feel like I thrive more under the pressure. But a lot of guys don't like it because, you know, it can go one of two ways. It's either, what did you not do to help him win, and who else didn't not help him win, you know? And it's like, bro, don't get me wrong. Like, yes, he had 40, 15, 9, and 8, but he missed a free throw too. like, don't just look at me because I missed an open shot. It's like, we all missing out here. It ain't like it's just, you know. And I think that for a lot of guys, it's hard to, especially with the day and age we're in, social media, continuously people, you got analysts running around talking crazy, and you playing on that team, and I think they're 12 or 13, and they still the most talked about team on TV. So it's always going to be that supporting cast of who's not doing what, or who, you know, and if you're not built for that, you're not made for that, it's going to eat you alive.
So you heard what J.R. Smith had to say. What are my thoughts? I think what J.R. did was he gave us a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on in the mind of a LeBron James teammate. The fact of the matter is, this is the truth. Whenever whenever a player plays with LeBron, there's all of these expectations. And what kills me is that the media places so much expectations on role players. Like, when they get a new role player, oh, this guy's going to do it. Is Rui Hachimura going to do it? Is Austin Rivers? Is this guy going to save the day? They're going to, like, what team do you know? What other all-star do you know? Great player do you know that whenever his team loses, they start blaming the role players or the secondary star? This year, there are no excuses for you can't point the finger at Anthony Davis. He's been their best player. He is their best player, and he is the X factor for this team. Whenever teams are talking about, can the Lakers beat the Warriors? They're talking about AD because he is the essential mismatch on the floor, right? With his size, with his length, with his defensive abilities, he's the mismatch. So AD's been the best player for the Lakers this year. So it's been very difficult to blame AD. And that's the reason why it's been very difficult to pinpoint who to blame, because now the media knows you guys will look quite ridiculous if you want to try to blame the Lakers season on role players. So they found a new person to blame, which is who Darvin had. It's always the story. It's always the story. It is so sad. First it was Luke Walton, then it was Frank Vogel, who's a championship coach. Now it's Darvin Ham. Then they're going to get another coach, and they're going to blame another coach, and they're going to blame this guy, or it was Rob Pelinka, or they tried Rob. It's always somebody else's fault. It's like, God damn, bro. And this is just exhausting. And this is the narrative. I see some Laker creators that make Lakers content. Whenever the Lakers lose, they never point any fingers at LeBron. They don't have the character within them to do it. It's always the coach. Always. And it's a problem. You know, I was talking with Gilbert Arenas just yesterday, and I'm like, why does LeBron? I was talking about these J.R. Smith comments. He goes, every player gets criticized. I'm like, no. And then he goes, well, Jordan never got criticized. I'm like, nah, you capping. He did get criticized. There are people that can actually point to Jordan being killed for not winning championships. Jordan stopped getting criticized when his team started winning, but he did get criticized. They were saying things about Jordan like all he does is score. All he does is just a great score, just a great score. It was when he started winning, then they stopped criticizing him. I brought up the example with him yesterday. I was like, Kobe got criticized way more. Kobe got criticized for blowing a 3-1 lead against the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They were like, Kobe Bryant quit and all of this and Kobe this and Kobe that. Kobe's getting blamed by that. It was an 8th seed playing the 1 seed, and they lost in the first round. It's like, well, Kobe this and Kobe. Like, they blame Kobe. They were blaming Kobe, right? So, you know, it is what it is. Some of his fanboys are going to feel a type of way, or they're going to make content that nobody's going to watch. 16.3. You don't get a response from me with 16.3, bro. Like, come on, get your weight up. Like, come on, 16.3, son. Come on, like, you're not serious. You ain't put in that work.